Here we are with the one and only Vanelli, and I will never reveal your first name.
He's a close friend, so he knows it. Hey, so Larry with Dr. T over at the Platypod booth gave me this incredible new version of the Platypod, and you guys are calling it the Delta,
That's right.
right? Now, if you notice, I put the extension stand on it because lately, as a photographer, I did get into, like most of us, into the video realm. And this is where this little extension tube came in. Now, it's funny because you and I both talked about this, that what we love best about Dr. T and Platypod is they listen to us. So that they talk to people and say, hey, what can we do? This was one of the tools I was experimenting with, and Dr. T looked at it and said, you know what? We could do better. And he did. And then you and our good buddy Dave, he had your input on the Delta. I'm looking at it, he goes, what does it look like? I'm like a bottle opener. Exactly. You're going to make a lot of my friends very happy on photo shoots, especially the nighttime stuff. All right, so the smaller version, now here, obviously, is the larger version, which I've been using for years. And even this went through major changes, which I thought was amazing because the spikes, I always lost them. The original version, I had the spikes and I'd lose them. And, it was kind of frustrating when you're out and like, oh man, where do the spikes go? So now they made them built in, even with the Delta here. And our good friend Moose Peterson made a comment that the spikes on the bottom of these were pinching him.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, oh man, I like it, but God, I kept getting pinched by it again. With his genius brain, his innovative, look what he did. He put these little stoppers on it. So if you're using it on a desk, there they are. They're on the top. If you're using it out in the field, you roll these up so you don't lose them. And now you have the spikes to get the grip into the ground. And I noticed with the Extreme, you did the same things in the past. I would just rotate it like this and use this side. Now what I like about it is I don't have to rotate it. If I have both sides. So those are some of my really interesting new features with it. I do like the idea I could hook it to a camera strap and I'm out and about. Now, this version here, what's really neat is we're here at Imaging USA. I'm about to go out and I want to photograph the train. Right? Have you seen the trains that were going around?
Oh, yeah.
And our buddies over at Smoke Ninja gave me a little Smoke Ninja. So I'm sitting there thinking, wow, how can I be very innovative and creative? I didn't bring a tripod because traveling on the plane with all the other stuff I have is just, ugh. And I'm like, you know what? I know some of my friends have to have tripods here. I'm sorry, I know you do. So instead of mooching off you guys, Dr. T, I went by his booth to say hi, showed me the new version, and said, hey, why don't you give it a try? So I can't wait to get out there because as long as the security guards aren't watching and I get a small guy like him going underneath the fence, we'll stick this near the train set and we'll remote trigger it. So when the train comes by, now I have this and we can just sit there, not look around. No one's going to notice it. Pop a little camera on top of it, use remote shutter, step a couple shots. There we have it. Now I have a steady platform. If I want to do slow exposure, long exposure with it, I could do that. So it's just extremely versatile. It's one of those tools you need to put in your bag. And what's neat, again, I've always traveled with these. This here is going to be my new go-to because it's a lot smaller and we slip it in.
Yeah. So, there's a number of things with this. The Delta is really an evolution of the original Ultra.
Yes.
So the Ultra was a smaller version of the Extreme. And the Extreme, if we just show that for a second. So the Extreme is fantastic. You can put this in your backpack, in your bag. Awesome. It really is an alternative to a tripod. But with the Delta, you don't need a bag. You put this in your pocket. That's why that's designed like this. And this is what it looks like. And it's not in a way, it's not a new thing. It's really an evolution of the Ultra. Exactly. The shape of it, and the built-in spikes. So the thing about the spikes was that with the Ultra, you could attach spikes, but you had to have the spikes separately, and it used to ship with a little, little pocket with like four spikes in it. And it was just an extra step that you had to take in order
And you
to.
don't have time when you're running and gunning and you're shooting. You don't have time. And like you said, the evolution of it. Can you imagine what wedding photographers are going to do with this? Right?
Yeah, it's the thing about all these tools, the Extreme, the Delta, and the original Ultra, for example, is that it's not just a camera platform. It's you can attach anything to it: microphones, lights. I use the Extreme regularly to attach strobes to it, for example.
Oh yes.
One of the things I do, I live next to what we in the UK call a woods. It's a little forest, and I like to take portraits in there because the light's really nice and the environment just looks cool. But I don't really want to drag lighting stands with me, so I have my little Godox 8200s, and I use an Extreme. Now I'll be using a Delta with the Velcro strap. I strap it around a tree, and you attach a strobe to it. It's solid enough so you can attach a modifier to. So you have really a fully fledged studio strobe that you can set up anywhere. You can attach this to lampposts, trees, railings, whatever it is. And you're not carrying a whole lot of gear with you all of the time.
Yeah. And like in New York City, for example, do not stand on a street corner with a tripod.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. They don't like that.
Exactly. In London, same in London. You call it the tripod police.
Yes. Yep. So that's a great idea to where, and I like the idea about strapping it. I did use the Ultra, the Ultra and the Extreme, or the Extreme, not the Ultra. I used the Extreme as, like you just said, putting a strobe on it behind her subject. Yes. So when I wanted to keep it low backlit and not stick a tripod in the shot or a light stand in the shot, these came in very handy in the studio. And as you know, for video, again, the extension popping this up here, I love that idea. And you just gave me an idea when you just said the video, because what we could try, if you're interested, we could actually put one of the GoPros or even one of the cameras on this with the train. So as that train is coming around, we could do something a little neat with a little creativity. Thanks for the inspiration on that.
And the thing is, there's no setup required. It's like split seconds. Split seconds. You pull this out of your pocket, you put it down, it's done. There's no, extending tripod legs. The tripod I'm carrying with me today, which is, I won't name the brand, it's a very well-known brand, but the mechanism is cumbersome. You gotta, unscrew the legs. It takes forever. And if I had a choice, I wouldn't be taking it with me. The only reason I have to is because I'm filming a lot.
Exactly.
But these things are incredible. And with this evolution of the Delta, I think Platypod have really hit, just the right angle. It's small, it's portable, it's super flexible, and it's solid as heck.
Good. Yep. Well, again, thank you, Dr. T, and for Platypod. I love their innovation, and I love the fact that you listen to photographers. He's a photographer. I mean, his skill has grown tremendously. So I love the fact he's one of us, and he knows the pain points that we deal with when we're traveling with. So if you don't have one, time to get one.
Absolutely.
Hey, thank you so much, and I will see you around the show floor.
Absolutely.
Every pro photographer knows tripods make your images sharper. Platypod makes the most convenient tripods for travel, down the street or around the world. Delta is now the best Platypod for your next journey. Not too long ago, photography master Scott Kelby says to us,
"My workshop students are clamoring for an Ultra with hinge spikes, just like the Extreme."
1 year later, the Platypod Delta is born. We listened to our users and developed the perfect travel tripod, combining familiar features you love from Platypod Ultra and Platypod Extreme into a completely new product designed from the ground up. Sleek and ergonomic, with integrated and adjustable flip-down spikes, retractable rubber feet, Delta is strong enough to support heavy-duty professional equipment. The Delta allows you to slip under the radar of the tripod police. Some of you have been there, trying to get into the museum or an aquarium with that big "no tripod" sign. That's where Delta comes in. Its slim and small form goes completely unnoticed, so you can get the shots you need. The Platypod Delta was made for travel. Long-haul flights or walking around a city. You can easily slip it into your back pocket, clip it onto a belt loop.
Whenever I'm traveling, life is easy with the Delta. I never have to worry about the weight and it fits anywhere.
Wherever I go, wherever I shoot, it's always a good idea to have a tripod with you, but sometimes it's a bit of a hassle dragging a heavy tripod with you when you get on the tube here in London. It's the only way to get around. So the Delta is perfect. It's the perfect solution to stabilize my camera anywhere I go.
The kind of shots that I like to get with the Delta are usually low angle shots, of course long exposures, and I've done a lot of landscape photography, and sometimes you're not expecting a scene that it's right in front of you and you need to stabilize your camera, and so I just get my Delta and that's it.
Platypod Delta is great for capturing beautiful time lapses. You can use your camera or, like a lot of people these days, your smartphone.
I love how the Delta helps improve my social media workflow. It's like I have an extra set of hands to help me shoot, so even I can be in the scene.
Whether it's in the heart of the city or the fjords of Norway, Delta offers great solutions for landscape photography.
Living and working in Norway offers some fantastic landscape opportunities, so minimizing on my gear load while having the maximum performance come out of it is an absolute game changer.
Delta was created with nighttime photography in mind, giving photographers the proper stability to capture beautiful cityscapes and those out-of-this-world northern lights. We want to thank our Kickstarter backers for your support and inspiration, leading us to the brand new Platypod Delta.